James Cameron's The Terminator.
You can't do that.
Wrong. Movie stars Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Cyberdyne Systems Model 101 Series 800 Terminator. A fucking humanoid killing machine. Then here comes Michael Biehn as Kyle Reese. He's this badass soldier from the future that was basically sent through time to stop the Terminator.
Come with me if you want to live.
Linda Hamilton is tasked with the role of playing Sarah Connor. Sarah Connor's just living her normal life as a college student and a waitress at Big Jeff's in Los Angeles.
Nice going.
Look at this way, in 100 years, who's gonna care?
The way these two were sent back through time is something called the time displacement equipment, or the TDE, which is a machine that allows living tissue and mimetic polyalloy to be sent backward and forward in time. The whole movie revolves around John Connor, if you want to get technical here. Kyle Reese is actually John Connor's father, and he was sent back in time to rescue his mother, Sarah Connor. Kyle Reese and the Terminator are in a race against time to see who can get to her first. Suddenly she notices a breaking news report. There's been several brutal slayings in the city that day. All of them were also named Sarah Connor.
Sarah Ann Connor was pronounced dead at the scene in her Santa Monica apartment.
Can we change?
Sarah Louise Connor was slain by a lone gunman earlier today.
She notices that she's being followed by this shadowy figure, but she has no idea that it's actually Kyle Reese, and his mission, his job, is to protect her at all costs. What she can't know is that there's another person following her, and his intentions are far from protection.
Sarah Connor?
Yes.
Ducking into a dance club called Tech Noir, she attempts to evade her pursuer, so she calls her house to try to get in touch with her roommate. Unfortunately for her, everyone in the home is already dead. Now the Terminator knows this girl is not Sarah Connor, and exactly where to find his target.
I'm at this place on Peacock Boulevard called Tech Noir. I think that there's somebody after me.
Kyle keeps close to Sarah to kind of draw out the Terminator, and she locks eyes with him from across the bar. They don't have to wait too long as the T-800 makes its way into the club, breaking the bouncer's fingers in the process. The next time that Sarah looks up, she notices that the Terminator's got his cold, dead eyes locked right on her, and he's about to blast that ass. From behind the dance floor, Bad Boy Reese brings up that cold, sawed-off 12 gauge and busts a move all over the Terminator's chest, knocking him on his ass. But look out, because the Terminator knows how to break it down, and a massive gunfight ensues as everybody flees in terror. It's so fucking awesome. The iconic line of,
Come with me if you want to live.
both flee into the alleyway, chased closely by the Terminator. They lose him for now, and Kyle's trying to educate Sarah on what's going on. Skynet, originally a computer system developed by the US military, and Cyberdyne Systems becomes self-aware and begins a war against all humans in the future. Sarah must have a son, John, as he turns out to be a pivotal figure in the war with the machines. In fact, he becomes the leader of the resistance. He must be born.
John Connor. Your son, Sarah. Your unborn son.
Sarah, given what she just witnessed at the club, believes him and understands that we might have some robotic shit on our hands. The Terminator is a cybernetic organism designed by Skynet to wipe out the human race. In their efforts to avoid the Terminator, they get into a car chase and a shootout across the city, ending in a crash, and the police apprehending Kyle and Sarah, where they proceed to interrogate him.
Skynet had to wipe out his entire existence.
Is that when you captured the lab complex and found that, what is it, the time displacement equipment?
The police think he's insane.
And I was assigned to
This is
recon
fucking
Europe
great.
the last 2 years
Eventually, the Terminator walks right into the police station, and he says that he's a friend of Sarah Connor and would like to see her. He's denied, and then he says the now classic, iconic line,
I'll be back.
and walks out of the door. Literally seconds later, a car just barrels into the station and crushes this fucking desk cop. The Terminator gets out of the car and just starts slaying everyone in the building. And even though they're shooting him, nothing seems to be working at all. Sarah was woken up from all the gunfire, so she hides underneath a desk. And as a shadow appears outside her door, and you think that the Terminator is about to acquire his fucking target. However, it's Kyle searching for her desperately so they can get the fuck out of there. And they do, narrowly avoiding death. They make their way to a hotel, and Kyle has to go out so he can get some supplies. While he's gone, Sarah calls her mother. However, in an effort to find her, the Terminator has already killed Sarah's mother.
I love you too, sweetheart.
She fucks up and gives the Terminator their location.
Okay, here's the number. You ready? Yes. Go ahead.
Kyle returns with supplies for making plastique, which is similar to nitroglycerin, but more stable. Gets to work loading weapons and making pipe bombs, teaching Sarah the techniques along the way, basically.
You must have had a fun childhood.
Okay, so at some point they start talking. One thing leads to another, and they got it on! Conceiving John Connor right there in the hotel room. Woo-wee! Terminator eventually shows up, and they're forced to flee and get into yet another high-speed chase. He's throwing pipe bombs at him, all kinds of shit's going on, and he gets shot right in the fucking stomach. It was crazy. Shortly after, Sarah pins the Terminator on an overpass and knocks him off the motorcycle that he was riding, as she also crashes and flips the truck. Suddenly, the Terminator gets run over by a big truck, and the driver stops, to see what was going on, and the Terminator basically knocks his ass out. I don't really know, does he kill him or not? You can't really see what's going on, he just falls to the ground. Terminator gets into the truck, and then you get the iconic line,
Get out.
Kyle gets a chance to throw one of the pipe bombs into some opening on the truck, takes cover as the plastique that he made earlier lights that ass up. Kyle and Sarah hug in relief as they think everything's over, but it's not. Kyle, in his last effort to finally destroy this bastard, shoves one of those pipe bombs right into his hips, ultimately dying from the explosion as the Terminator gets blown the fucking half. Now you got dead Kyle Reese, and Sarah's mourning over his body when the top half of the Terminator starts crawling towards her. She evades in an awesome and claustrophobic scene and eventually gets stopped at the dead end of the other side of the hydraulic press. She's able to close a gate, locking him inside, but while he tries to reach her through it, she finds the button to start the press, and with a triumphant
Terminated fucker.
she crushes the fuck out of the Terminator once and for all, as we see that red light in his eye just fade out. She's wheeled off by an ambulance, and the scene fades. When it fades back, several weeks have passed, and we find Sarah driving in Mexico somewhere, recording messages for John, explaining how he must send Kyle Reese back.
If you don't send Kyle, you can never be. God, a person could go crazy thinking about this.
A small child comes up to her at a gas station and takes a Polaroid of her, which is the same image or picture that Kyle had in the flashback earlier in the film. The musical score in this film is amazing. The movie all around is just a timeless classic and a masterpiece that will just never ever be matched. James Cameron, what can I say? He was on point with his vision for this movie. He just knew what kind of movie he wanted to make, and he set out and he fucking made it. I love this film, and I always have. The character, the whole thing, the Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton, Michael Biehn, James Cameron. What more can you ask for? There's nothing else really left for me to say, but fucking go check that shit out right now. You have to be Terminated. You need this. It's a must-see. It was one of the best action films of the 80s, if not all time.
I'll be back.